Hello beautiful peeps, I'm Chris from TechSpert, and today we're going to be checking out the fresh new Honor Watch GS Pro, a rugged outdoor watch for urban adventurers in Honor's own words. Now this thing boasts some premium design and features. You've got tracking for over 100 different exercise types, including a fresh new skiing mode for anyone who enjoys strapping planks of wood to their feet in their spare time. You've got a reported 25 days of battery life, heart rate tracking, SpO2 monitoring, sleep tracking, all of that good stuff, and all for a very respectable asking price of just €250. So that's enough of me banging on. Let's get this bad boy pulled out of the box, set it up, and take you on a full-on tour of all the hardware, the software, the best new features, and everything. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! First of all, quite an interesting box. It kind of looks like I've coughed all over it or something, but I swear I haven't. This is actually some textured stuff that was on there to begin with. Kind of looks like maybe a badger with dodgy bowels got a bit too close. But anyhow, we're not actually interested in the box. We are interested in this bad boy inside of it. So just chuck the watch aside for a second and check out what else you get in this box of dreams. That's pretty straightforward. You've got your quick start guide, as well as a Type-C charging cable and the actual magnetic dock, which you'll need to stick the watch on to get it powered back up again. And that is a proper strong magnetic attraction as well. That's not going to come flying off if you accidentally nudge it or anything, so that's good. And that is that. So let's turn our attention to the actual watch itself. So as I said before, a rugged outdoor watch according to Honor. You've got a stainless steel bezel surrounding that screen. It's 1.39 incher. But the rest of the watch feels like it's basically constructed of plastic. Quite a chunky mother, as you can see there, but that's pretty typical for any kind of outdoor smartwatch. And at 45 grams, it's got a good little heft to it as well, and that's without the straps. As for the strap, it's a fluoro rubber effort, so it should be well suited for exercise and everything. Should hopefully be nice and comfortable on the skin, even if you're wearing it 24 hours a day. This is of course the black fluoro rubber strap. You can also grab a white alternative. Otherwise, Honor also mentioned that there would be a camel blue nylon braided strap. And as you can see on the back here, you've got your quick release switches as well, so you can actually pop those straps off in a jiffy and replace them with a new one. And as you'd hope for a supposedly rugged watch, Honor has put the Watch GS Pro through its paces. Apparently this thing has passed 14 different military standard 810G tests, including humidity tests, shock tests, altitude, temperature, all the good stuff. And it's also apparently water resistant to a depth of 50 meters, so great news if you want to go snorkeling, or in my case, you just can't be bothered to take it off when you go in the shower. Anyhow, that's enough waffle. Let's get the Honor Watch GS Pro all set up, and then we can take a proper full-on tour of the rest of the features. Now to set up the Honor Watch GS Pro, you'll need to download the Huawei Health App, which is available for free on the Google Play Store and Apple's App Store as well. You just got to sign into Huawei Health using your Huawei ID, or sign up for an account if you haven't got one already, and then head to Devices and Add. As you can see there, devices popped right up, so hopefully they'll be paired in a jiffy. And there we go. How easy was that? Right, so now that the watch is actually all set up and good to go, I can actually slap it onto my wrist. And there we go. Actually, considering it's a fairly chunky watch, doesn't look too ridiculous on my spindly little toddler wrist. So now you can actually see that 1.39 inch Amoled screen in action as well. And it looks just as crisp and gorgeous and beautiful as any of the displays on any of those Huawei GT2 series smartwatches. Because it's an Amoled, of course, you get nice punchy colors. And it's pleasingly sharp as well, with a 454 by 454 pixel resolution, giving you 326 pixels per inch, so certainly no issues with those tiny bits of text. And as you can see there on the side of the Honor Watch GS Pro, you've got two physical push buttons. The top one brings up a full list of all of your apps that you've got installed on there, which you can then scroll through. You can also then push the top button again to go back to the main watch face, and if you push the bottom button, that's basically a shortcut to load up the app of your choice. So by default it'll load up the exercise tracking, but then if you dive into the watch settings and you scroll down, as you can see, there's a down button setting, and you can just change that to any app that you prefer if you're not really a fan of the old exercises. Now, because this is a Huawei smartwatch, it doesn't use Wear OS from Google. It uses Huawei's own smartwatch OS. That means you can't download fresh new apps from an app store, for instance. That means it is a case of what you see is what you get in this apps list. Unless Huawei/Honor adds further apps via an over-the-air update, then basically this is what you've got. Thankfully, it's a pretty comprehensive selection of features, especially if you're doing your fitness tracking. You've got some good health related stuff on here. So of course, naturally, you've got a built-in heart rate monitor there, which can monitor your pulse 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it looks like I was very excited when I was strapping this thing onto my wrist. You've got an SpO2 monitor on there as well, basically blood oxygen concentration, especially good for picking up on underlying health conditions. It should always be as close to 100% as possible. Of course, you've got full-on sleep tracking, stress monitoring, breathing exercises if you're feeling the stress of everyday existence, and of course full tracking for over 100 different types of exercise. So whatever you're into for working up a sweat, chances are it's probably covered here on the Honor watch. I mean, plaza dancing, tai chi, hula hoops, darts. Does darts even count as exercise? I suppose it's got to monitor all the heavy lifting of the pints. Laser tag, for goodness sakes. And as I mentioned before, one of the newer updates for the Honor Watch GS Pro is the skiing mode, which also extends to snowboarding and cross-country skiing if you like doing that randomness. As you can see, when you start the exercise tracking, it'll calibrate the GPS, and then once that's done, it will kickstart the exercise.
Start the workout.
Whoa, okay, dude. And as you can see, it can deliver pertinent stats based on what kind of workout you're doing. So in this case, total descent in meters, as well as your speed, the time you've been going, etc, etc. And if you're a fan of hiking as well, but you're not very good at really sort of keeping track of where you wander to, you may be a little bit absent-minded, well, Honor has added in a new feature as well called Route Back. So basically, this will track you on the GPS as you start your hike. And then at any point, if you decide, oh, I'm a wee bit lost here, what do I do? All you need to do is hit Route Back.
You've reached your destination. Navigation finished.
And it'll help you get back to your point of origin, which for me was this very spot here. And while you're getting your sweat on as well, if you need a bit of motivation to help keep you going, just one swipe, and you access the media controls, you can upload up to 500 songs onto the Honor Watch GS Pro, and then just stream them via Bluetooth to your headphones, your earbuds, whatever. The Honor Watch GS Pro also has a built-in barometer as well, so if you scroll down to the air pressure app, you can get an update on the ambient conditions. You can also check out the altitude if you're doing a bit of proper mountain hiking or something. And one of the new features on here as well is the severe weather warning, so you can turn that on, and if the watch detects that the as you see, the atmospheric pressure is dropping quite fast, it'll give you a little heads up. You might want to get yourself indoors. If you jump on into the weather app as well, this can also serve up lots of great useful information. So for instance, the sunrise and sunset times in your local area. This will even work offline as well, just using your last recorded location, just in case you happen to jump offline. As you can see the moon phases and everything as well, the tide times as well. Personally, I don't think I'm going to need any of this stuff for my weekly shopping trip to Tesco's, but certainly if you're planning a proper expedition into the great outdoors, this will do the job. As with all smartwatches, of course, once you're hooked up to your smartphone, you'll get full access to all of your notifications right here on your wrist. You can actually set up within the Huawei Health App exactly which apps will serve up notifications. You're not bothered non-stop by random crap you don't care about. And from within the app, you can also set up your favorite contacts. You can set up alarms to go off on your watch as well. You can, of course, copy all that music across. So you just swipe up to access your notifications. If you swipe right and left, you'll access all of your, basically your tiles, which give you fast access to all of your various stats and other pertinent information, your media controls, all that good stuff. And last up, if you swipe down, that gives you fast access to some toggles and other features like Find My Phone. And you can also access all of your settings from here as well, set up some earbuds, tinker around with the display. As you can see there is an always on display option, which I quite like, so I'm going to get that on the go. Got a handful of different options, analog and digital. I'm going to get some analog action on the go. Let's have it green, why not? And I'm also going to change up the main watch face as well, because I'm not a fan of that default effort. So if we just, there we go, get there in the end. As you can see, you've again got a selection of different ones that you can choose from between the analogs and the digitals. And a lot of the different watch faces have a variety of widgets on them as well, which are customizable. So for instance, this one, you can get an alternative time zone on the go. And while there's only a small selection of pre-installed watch faces on the watch itself, don't worry, because you can just dive into that Huawei Health app and you can download a huge selection of other ones. I've kept on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There's well over 100 in here, so you should be able to find something that you like. If you like koalas or guitars or whatever the hell these things are, little otter things, then yeah, job done. Amazingly, you've also got the This Is Fine meme watch face as well, which is very appropriate indeed for 2020. And in fact, I finally reached the end of the list, so this is how many different watch faces you have to choose between. I can't be bothered to count all of them. There's a lot. There you go. So I've naturally gone for the This Is Fine one, because yeah, that just sums it up. The actual performance is provided courtesy of Huawei's Kirin A1 chipset, which is found in all of the GT2 series smartwatches, so I'm expecting nice smooth performance. I've seen a couple of little stutters here and there, but I'm just taking that down to the fact that it's only just been set up. And Honor reckons if you fully charge the Watch GS Pro, then you will get 25 days of life continuously, which is pretty impressive. That's with mixed use. Of course, once you start activating various features such as the always on display, that's supposed to cut the battery life in half, but even then you're getting close to 2 weeks on a single charge, which is incredible for a smartwatch. Of course, the more exercise tracking and everything that you do, that will cut the battery life as well, because the GPS will drain it rather fast, but that only seems to activate when you're actually doing some sort of fitness stuff. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning as well, you do get a built-in speaker and a microphone here on the Honor Watch GS Pro as well. So that means you can actually take calls via your smartwatch as long as you're hooked up to your phone. So there you have it. That is the Honor Watch GS Pro in a nutshell. Say €250, available September the 7th directly from Honor. And certainly if you find yourself out and about quite a lot, doing a lot of trekking, skiing, any of that good stuff, then it seems to have some pretty solid premium specs and features for that reasonable asking price. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell if you haven't already, and have yourselves a lovely rest of the week. Cheers everyone. Love you.